Good morning, Oklahoma City. It's currently 8:23 a.m. on Monday, May 20th. I'm Hannah Hamilton from KZPB.
And I'm Eliana Santino from KCPB, here today to bring you our daily news.
Groundbreaking news overnight, the legendary ABC anchor Barbara Walters will be retiring next year. Walters, now 83, has been quoted as saying, "It's time," after working her way from starting as a researcher for the Today Show in 1961.
Former football star and media personality O.J. Simpson is returning to court today in an attempt to get his 2008 conviction and prison sentence thrown out on the grounds that his old lawyer mounted a weak defense in court.
The Storm Prediction Center in Norman has issued a moderate risk of thunderstorms for our area today, with a significant risk of tornadoes included. Stay tuned with us here at KZPB for coverage throughout the day. Now, reporting live, we have Taryn on the ground in the city of Moore.
Hey folks, we have Rob Hamilton here to tell us about his preparation for the storm.
Yeah, so I got some water, got some food, got some first aid supplies, boarded up a few of the most dangerous windows in my house, got my plan in place, made sure to tell all my relatives where to go in case of a tornado if they live in the area. I think we're really getting ready for this. Could be a big day.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much for your insight.
Yeah.
And now back to the studio.
Now, we know that we have a tornado threat today, but how do those tornadoes form? Today, Ned Fred will join us in order to break down tornado formation in a simple way that, well, even I can understand.
Thank you, Mindy. What I don't think a lot of people understand is that we have a moderate risk today, and that means we could have a few tornadoes across the area, but we're not really sure yet. So we need to wait a little bit to see how the situation develops.
Well, what do you mean we don't understand? Should we be taking shelter, or when will that become necessary?
Well, we shouldn't be taking shelter yet because we don't have any tornadoes on the ground, but we do measure tornadoes based on the wind speed. So if you are, for example, at the beach, you'll be experiencing a breeze of maybe 15 miles per hour. But the lowest end of our tornado scale bottoms out at 65 miles per hour. So you can just imagine how intense those winds are. If there's a tornado on the ground, you definitely need to seek shelter, but not right now.
Whoa, so what kind of factors will cause a stronger tornado?
But what we have today is we have warm air near the surface and cooler air above. This warm air will begin to lift in the atmosphere and cause an updraft, which will then be set spinning by wind shear in the atmosphere. This will cause the tornado to become stronger.
Well, it's thunderstorming right now. Oh no! What are the chances of a tornado actually forming under these conditions?
Well, we don't expect any actual tornadoes to happen until around midday today, but these thunderstorms definitely could produce a few tornadoes if we're not careful, and we need to keep watching them. We are in the middle of Tornado Alley, so we're going to be making sure we check on this today. And we have the two fronts meeting today of warm air coming up from the Gulf and cold air from the Rockies. It is May after all, and there is a cold, if we have a cold downdraft and warm updraft today, we will see tornadoes. But if there isn't that, then we may be fine. We just really don't know yet.
Okay, well, back to the studio.
Welcome everyone. Before we begin, we urge everyone to take shelter. We recommend that you take cover in a basement. However, if you are residing in a home with no basement, we ask that you avoid windows. Go to the lowest floor, like a small center room, like a bathroom or a closet, under a stairwell, or an interior hallway with no windows. Crouch as low as possible to the floor and cover your head with your hands. Stay safe, everyone.
Now, we are going to report live to Taryn, who's on the ground in Moore. Taryn, can you describe what's going on?
Lindsey,
Taryn? Hello?
are you there?
Everything all right?
Whoa!
It seems that we are facing some audio difficulties among the strength of the tornado. Well, to all our viewers out there, stay safe, and we look forward to reporting to you soon.
Welcome back, folks! After a devastating few days, it looks like the Moore tornado has finally dissipated. Although the true cause of dissipation is unknown, it is speculated that an imbalance between the hot and cold air can attribute to the tornado's failure.
We are truly grateful to say that we are looking at the calm after the storm. However, it seems that due to the magnitude of the force of the storm, the aftermath is truly devastating. With the sheer force of this tornado, it was able to pick up cars and completely destroy homes, using the debris from the damage caused by the strong force to pick up and used to inflict further damage in the city of Moore.
That's right, Taryn. This was certainly one of the deadliest tornadoes in Oklahoma's history. It raked a 14-mile path of destruction with a duration of 40 minutes through the southern areas of Oklahoma City. Overall, it appears that there were 25 deaths caused by the storm. Over 1,150 homes had been damaged, worth over $2 billion, and the official amount of people injured was 377. Additionally, personal possessions of Moore residents were found over 10 miles away, lofted by the tornado and carried by the violent updrafts within the storm. This tornado was categorized as EF5, a rare twister, packing essential wind speeds greater than 200 miles per hour. E5 tornadoes are known to be responsible for violent damage, as well as the lifting of home and building foundations that are carried for long distances and cause serious damage.
I think the most devastating aspect of this tragedy is that it ended up flattening an elementary school where there were no fatalities occurred. Then it hit another elementary school where a wall collapsed and killed 7 children. The Briarwood Elementary School was flattened. Investigation by a group of structural engineers has discovered that the building's walls were not, in fact, reinforced with concrete. Because of this, the lack of connection between the masonry walls and the support beams that occurred in several spots throughout the building caused the anchor bolts to be pulled up by the ground during the tornado. Additionally, the second school to be hit was the Plaza Towers. Parents were instructed to pick up their children from school early this day so that the time the Moore tornado struck the school, only 75 teachers and students were in the building. Teachers rushed their students into the bathrooms and closets to take cover. Tragically, 7 fatalities occurred in the newer wing of the building that housed the 2nd and 3rd graders. Another building that was heavily damaged during the tornado was the Moore Medical Center. Fortunately, there were no injuries to those present in the building at the time. The staff of this building relocated patients to a hospital in Norman, as well as another hospital nearby.
Wow, absolutely devastating. Now, let's take a look back at the history of tornadoes that have occurred in Oklahoma. On average, the state of Oklahoma experiences approximately 60 tornadoes a year. This area is deemed part of the Tornado Alley, which is characterized as an area in the southern plains of the central United States, where tornadoes are very frequent. However, the majority of tornadoes, around 77% of tornadoes, don't end up causing the tragic aftermath like we have seen with the Moore tornado. On April 9th, 1947, the deadliest tornado in Oklahoma's history struck, killing 16 people and injuring 782 after killing at least 69 people in Texas. Following, on May 3rd, 1999, a series of almost 60 tornadoes wreaked havoc in central Oklahoma within a span of 24 hours, mainly in the southern metropolitan areas of Oklahoma City, including Moore. One of these, the Bridge Creek Moore tornado, killed 36 people, destroyed 1,800 homes, and damaged another 2,500 homes. Following all of this, on May 20th, 2013, the Moore tornado struck land.
That's right. And what's interesting is that on May 31st, 2013, even more tornadoes hit central Oklahoma. One being the largest ever recorded tornado, the El Reno tornado. This monstrous tornado reached 2.6 miles wide and killed 9 people. This tornado was a catalyst for accompanying tornadoes and storms that resulted in flash flooding. Overall, El Reno ended up killing 14 people around Oklahoma City and extricating recovery efforts from earlier Moore tornado.
My heart aches for all those affected by this tragedy. We had our own Taryn sit down with City of Moore resident Eloise Ryans and ask her about her experience and how her life has changed since.
So Eloise, I know this must be a hard time for you. Can you describe the days leading up to the tornado?
The days leading up to the tornado were just like any other. I took care of my home, my 2 kids, Billy and Joanne, and my 2 cats, Nisha and Nico.
Right. And when did you start to get worried about the storm and suspect it was getting more serious?
Well, I've lived in Oklahoma most of my life, so I take these warnings very seriously. But it wasn't until the clouds started rolling in that I knew that something wasn't right.
It must have been quite unsettling for you. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened after that?
I just feel very blessed that my family and I are all safe. Our home certainly faced some damages, but I consider myself one of the lucky ones. My heart goes out to all of the families that lost someone, and I pray for them in this time of despair.
Thank you. And from the KZPB family to you, we wish you the best of luck to you and your family in your recovery from this tragedy.
Thank you.
Viewers out there that may be asking how you can help with the relief efforts and those affected by this disaster, there are many ways in which you can help. Take this time and do something as simple as sending out positive thoughts to all children and families impacted by this disaster. Additionally, you have the opportunity to give. Every penny is worth something. By providing life-saving aid and relief supplies to the survivors of U.S. disasters like the devastating Moore tornado.
And as always, thank you for staying with us here at KZPB through our tornado coverage. As always, global perspective, local coverage. Thank you.